Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's transfer deadline day. Yesterday we had the Champions League draw. Sunday we have the derby, and sandwiched in between today we have a very important day for Celtic as we look to conclude our transfer business both in the incomings and the outgoings. It's an important day. There's still a lot to talk about. It's been a hectic week. So let's talk about that. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. You guys have been phenomenal. Brilliant support from you all through the month of August, and I couldn't appreciate it more. We've passed the 40k mark, but let's keep going into this league campaign, and obviously very soon our Champions League campaign. Some of you still have a job to do. Look at this. Look. Through the month of August, 44% of you watching haven't subscribed. Come on now. Press the button. It's absolutely free, and it'll be very much appreciated. Thank you. Right, today is not a day for time wasting. We have a hell of a lot to talk about in regards to the transfer deadline, in regards to what happened yesterday and moving forward as well. There's so much to cover, and keep in mind tonight we'll be covering a lot of that in much more extensive detail. I'll be live at 10 PM on the channel. We're going to go live for the closing hours of the transfer window, so make sure to check that out. It will be on the channel. I'll be by myself this year, but feel free. It's there for you to come and join in. Right, very briefly, let's have a quick reaction to that draw yesterday, which seen Celtic get Atletico Madrid, Lazio and Feyenoord in the draw for the Champions League. A very exciting group for us. A lot of people dubbing it one of the easiest draws we've had in years. And that's obviously with a lot of respect to the opponents we have drawn. It's still a group that I think will be very competitive and very difficult to qualify from. But when you compare it to some of the monster draws and groups of death that we've had in the last decade or so, I quite like our chances in this one. It's going to be tough. We've got the Dutch champions. We've got an Italian side who have been very good in Serie A over the last couple of years and much better than we faced them back in 2019. We've got one of the best sides in Spain over the past decade or so, managed by a world-class elite manager. It's not going to be an easy group. I don't want to set the expectations too high just for us to be let down. We haven't been great to start this league campaign, so we need to improve if we want to have any chance. But we're going to talk about this group in a lot more depth moving forward over the next couple of weeks when we get the fixture announcements and all of that. But yeah, if you watched my live stream yesterday reacting to the draw, you'll know that I'm very happy with the one that we got. And I'm looking forward to some very tasty fixtures, especially those games against Feyenoord. I think they're going to be brilliant, both atmosphere-wise and just in general footballing terms. I think that it'll be a great match playing them. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Also scared at the same time. Talking about yesterday, we got the announcements, the official announcements that both Nathaniel Phillips, or Nat Phillips, and Luis Palma have both signed for Celtic, respectively on different deals. Of course, we have Nat Phillips coming in on that loan deal until January, and Luis Palma has signed a 5-year contract with the club. Two players who you could argue should go straight into the team on Sunday to take on Rangers. I think there's definitely a stronger case for Nat Phillips. He's going to come in to reinforce that back line until we have Cameron Carter-Vickers, Mike Nawrowski back. Two really good signings. Two signings I'm happy with. We'll talk a lot more about them tonight on the live stream, but those signings were made official yesterday. So, talking about official announcements, we still await one for a player that we know is at Celtic. Brendan Rodgers has spoke about him today at his press conference. It's basically official, but we wait the finalised details and the official graphic from the club on their socials. We're talking about Paulo Bernardo, who is effectively a Celtic player now and will be another guy who joins on loan for the entire campaign, we understand, not just until January like Nat Phillips, but for the entire campaign. This was kind of confirmed this morning by the Portuguese national setup. The under-21 side was announced this morning, and Paulo Bernardo was, funnily enough, announced as a Celtic player. The graphic will be on screen, of course, but they put Celtic FC as his club before the official announcement took place. But we have heard that he's in Glasgow. We have heard that he's signed and dotted everything. The contract is finished and he will be a Celtic player. On that note, Brendan Rodgers, as I said, spoke about him today at the press conference. He was questioned on the signing of Paulo Bernardo. Brendan Rodgers said that he's a young player that's coming in with potential. He gives us strength and depth. in midfield. So he has spoke first hand on him. And obviously we just now await that official announcement. We did talk about him on a live stream the other night and deep dived into the player a little bit more. So if you want to know more about him, then make sure to check that out. But a central midfielder who I think will add that good depth, especially attacking wise, where I think in the opening few games of the season we have looked a little bit stale at times. We've needed someone to creatively pull us out a rut, with Rio Hatate being injured. I think that Paulo Bernardo is going to be that exact kind of player, so I'm looking forward to seeing him partnered with Matt O'Reilly, for example. And who knows, this is another player who could potentially come straight into the team on Sunday, should the manager think he's good enough. But I'm excited. I think he'll be a good signing for us, and we need to find out the last details. This was the article that the Record Portugal put up this morning in regards to Paulo Bernardo. They talk about how the under-21 setup has obviously announced the player, but it goes on to say the deal has not been made official, but as we reported, the Benfica midfielder will be a Scottish player on a season-long loan. Without space for Roger Schmidt, Paulo Bernardo was training with the B team. He was still training camp in England with the main team, but was cut before the Algarve tournament. So that was their article they put out this morning. Still nothing yet clarified by any outlet, whether it be Portuguese or Scottish, on the final details on his potential future. Will it be with Celtic? Will it be with Benfica? We've heard talk that there might be an option to buy clause included in the loan deal, but we don't know if that's definite yet, and we also don't know the number for that yet. We don't know if it'll be 5, 10, 15 million pounds. We need to wait and find out those details when the deal is made official. So we'll talk about that tonight once we get an announcement, and I'm hoping there is some sort of a deal to buy in there, because I think he could be a really good player. Obviously, by the time this video is out, things are moving that fast that we might have news, we might have an update. So apologies if by the time this is up that there's been an official announcement and we've got all these details clarified. I can only work with what I have at this current moment of time at recording, but you know the deal by now. On that note, what else should we expect? Is Paulo Bernardo going to be the only player who comes in today? Brendan Rodgers has given a little bit of an insight as to what to expect the rest of deadline day, and to be honest, it's not the most positive updates, but it's one that makes you go, never say never. This was Rodgers' only comment on the incomings. He said, I don't think there will be many more coming in. So yeah, he's basically said no, but maybe. I really would be surprised now if we go and sign someone else, but if something comes up, things can change. Now, Anthony Joseph put this tweet up yesterday in regards to a left back. He said, as things stand, Celtic are not close to securing a left back. They will remain active to see who may be available. But that doesn't mean they will panic buy today now. But it's deadline day and things can change very, very quickly. So that, alongside Rodgers' comments, doesn't really fill me with a lot of faith that we will make any more signings today. But as Anthony Joseph put in his tweet, it's deadline day, things change quick, clubs want to shift players to bring more in, and Celtic might find themselves in a situation where a left back option does open up. Also, Brendan Rodgers hasn't said no. He's not. I think that if there was no chance of signing players, he would say that. I think he'd say no, Paulo Bernardo's the only one coming in today, and that's us done. He said he doesn't think there will be many more coming in. So maybe there is room for one more player. Maybe there's work getting done behind the scenes. We just have to wait and see. You got to remember now we're in a very difficult situation, leaving it to the last minute looking for a left back. And a lot of people are going to moan about this and are going to be really downtrodden about it. But the reality is, at the start of the window, not a lot of people were crying out for a left back because Greg Taylor had a phenomenal campaign. It's only been after the first few games where we've started going, right, maybe Taylor's not good enough. So I don't even think that the club were in a position where they thought maybe a left back was a priority this season. And we've had to leave it late due to the performances over the last few weeks. Now, people might be saying, go out and try and get Kent Merlin or players that have been linked with us in the left back position. But now that it is deadline day, a lot of clubs won't want to part with their players. So yeah, it's not going to be easy for Celtic, and I don't blame us if we don't panic buy, but I hope something does pop up. Now, the Daily Record did report last night that the agents of Ryan Bertrand had offered his services to the club. It's 2023, lads. Let's not do that. There's nothing in it anyway. It's the papers looking for a headline, and obviously agents are trying to find their players' clubs, but Ryan Bertrand's 34. Maybe 10 years ago he could have been a good fit for Celtic, but not now. So yeah, we just need to wait and see. Maybe something will pop up, but that's the whole point in going live tonight, because we'll get to see what happens live. Let's do a very quick run through of outgoings at the club. Yes, there's a couple of things to talk about, but we're going to try and run through it very quickly. Let's start with Sead Haksabanovic, which, as you all know, for me, personal side to it, with me being so excited for him signing for the club and yada yada, it's not worked out, and his attitude has meant that he has to leave the club, and I've got no problems with that. As much as I did want things to work out for him, it just doesn't seem to be happening. He looks as though he's got his move. He will either be off to PAOK in Greece or Stoke City down in England. I know where I'd rather go. I think I'd rather Greece, but Stoke apparently in for a loan deal. They've apparently organised a medical as well, whereas PAOK over in Greece have organised a permanent deal. Perhaps there's two conflicting reports here. Once again, we're going to have to watch it as it develops, but it looks as though he will either way be leaving the club today, whether it's on a permanent basis or a loan basis. We wait and see. But Haksabanovic will be off. Ismaila Soro, he is gone. He's left, officially joining Beitar Jerusalem in Israel. He's returned to the country that we signed him from. He's left on a permanent basis, so he's gone. He's away. We've managed to shift some wages there on deadline day. That was announced very, when was that? 2:11, about half an hour ago, so not too long ago. And finally, Albion Ayeti has reportedly completed his move to Turkey, signing for Gaziantep for a fee of £500,000. Not even want to talk about the loss that we've made on that and the flop that he was, but his 3-year stint at the club is over, and Sky Sports have reported that is finished, apparently on a 2-year contract. I don't think there's been an official announcement yet, but it looks done and dusted. Another one freed off the wage bill, who was on quite a large wage as well. So yeah, that's 2 players confirmed to be gone. Haxa, who looks to be leaving, and who knows, maybe there'll be another couple by the end of tonight. And finally, some exciting news. You know, for me, I'm a kit lover. You guys are kit lovers. Celtic have announced that beautiful kit that we've been waiting on throughout the entire summer. One that was leaked months ago. It's finally official, and Celtic posted images of it this morning. It is being served as a special limited edition Adidas Celtic jersey to mark 120 years of the hoops. The announcement goes on to say, a celebration of the iconic green and white hoops synonymous with Celtic Football Club for 120 years. The simple yet stunning green and white jersey is a timeless classic and is now available for pre-order ahead of its release a week today. So there you go. If you want to go and get that, it is on sale now. It's a shirt only. There's no full kit. £70. It will be released this time next week. It is on a limited edition basis, so if you want it, I'd recommend trying to go in and get it. Yes, price is ridiculous. That's 4 £70 shirts. If you wanted the whole collection, that's £280 on kits in one season. Nuts where football's went, isn't it? But it's a beautiful top, and honestly, best Celtic home shirt I've seen in my lifetime, without a shadow of a doubt. Stunning, gorgeous. I don't know if we'll ever get round to wearing it in a game, but that's my quick reaction. Beautiful Adidas. Why is that not the actual home shirt this year? That's my question. Right, that does it then for today. I'm going to try and get this up as quickly as possible because things are changing and developing, as you know, very quickly, as it is deadline day. So sorry if anything is outdated by the time this video is published, but I can only do what I can. So join me live tonight, and we'll see the transfer window close and what Celtic do, if anything. So, thank you, and good night. Or, not good night, good afternoon. Goodbye.